People say 80s kids are cynical. Here's the twist. That cynicism is often media literacy. You watched image making happen in real time. Music videos, ads, PSAs, and then the behind-the-scenes moment where the mask slips. So now when someone sells a lifestyle online, your brain doesn't see the glow-up. It sees production, framing, manipulation. Research from Pop Psych takes this seriously. You learn to question pitches, cross-check info, and distrust unearned authority. Not because you're bitter, because you were trained. Yeah, have you ever noticed you don't just watch an ad, you scan it like it's lying to you? You're not trying to be edgy. Your eyes just go straight to the weak spots, the claim, the catch, the tiny text they hope you won't read. Think about it. You're home, TV's on. You're half doing homework, half eating cereal, and the same ads keep coming back like they live there too. 4 channels, maybe 5. Same toy spot, same soda spot, same new and improved thing that looks a lot like the old thing. And you can't skip any of it. No mute button habit yet. No ad blocker, no skip in 5. You sit there and take the full hit. Loud voices, bright colors, that fake, excited tone that feels like it's trying to climb into your head. People call that cynical now, like you woke up one day and chose distrust. But here's the thing. Your brain didn't choose it. Your brain learned it. It saw a pattern because it had to sit through the pattern. Over and over until the pattern got easier to spot than the show. So you start noticing the moves. The catchy slogan that sticks in your mouth like gum. The before and after shot where the before is always worse than real life. The fast talker who never takes a breath. The act now timer that somehow never ends because it's not a real clock. It's a pressure tool. Psychologists call this persuasion knowledge. Simple idea. Part of your mind keeps track of when someone is trying to push you so it can protect your choices. It's that little alarm that goes off the second a message stops being info and starts being a pitch. And in the 80s, you didn't have instant fact checks in your pocket. So you built a slower, tougher habit. You waited. You asked someone older. You checked a second source, even if that source was just another human who'd bought the thing already and could tell you the truth. A lot of that came from getting burned. You see the toy on TV doing tricks, spinning, talking, basically living a full life. Then you open it at home, and it's plastic, stiff joints, one weak sound. The gap between the ad and the real thing teaches you fast. Research shows repeated exposure to marketing can make you better at spotting intent, especially after hype lets you down. That's not bitterness. That's learning. Your brain updates the file. This is what selling looks like. This is what exaggeration sounds like. So now, when a modern ad says, "only today," your body stays calm. That's delayed gratification doing its job. You don't panic buy, you don't FOMO buy. You let the feeling pass, then you decide. That's the payoff. 4 channels and unskippable infomercials didn't just annoy you. They built a mental defense system. Constant exposure plus no skip button forced you to detect patterns and motives fast. Which brings us to the real upgrade you got in the 80s. You didn't just see ads. You watched image making become normal. There is something different about how you react to perfect people online. You don't envy first. You look for the lighting, you clock the angle, you notice the clean background that feels a little too clean. That reflex didn't come from nowhere. It came from the moment MTV made music visual and made cool into a package you could sell. Suddenly, every song had a face. Every face had a plan. Hair, clothes, sets, smoke, shadows, fast cuts. A whole story in 3 minutes. Think about it. You're on the couch and a video comes on and the artist looks untouchable. No pores, no bad hair days, just confidence, spotlights, and a camera that never blinks. And then later you catch an interview or some behind-the-scenes clip and the vibe shifts. The voice is softer. The jokes land weird. The person doesn't match the character. So you learn the gap, not in a bitter way, in a practical way. You start holding 2 files in your head at once. This is the on-screen version. This is the off-screen version, and you stop mixing them up. MTV leaned hard into production. Research points out that the whole format trained you to expect style, staging, and a curated persona, not raw truth. That matters, because your brain starts treating polished images like a type of product. Something made, something edited, not a window into real life. Psychologists call this image-reality discrepancy. Simple meaning: what you see can be miles away from what's real, even when it looks natural. And you got practice spotting that discrepancy early, because the same people showed up in two modes. Big performance in the video, regular human in the interview. So your mirror neurons don't fully buy it. Mirror neurons are the part of your brain that helps you feel what you see, like you're kind of syncing up with the mood in front of you. That's why a confident person can make you feel confident. Or a sad face can drag your mood down, but you learn to put a filter in front of that feeling. You still feel the pull, you just don't surrender to it. Now social comparison theory kicks in. That's the brain habit where you rank yourself against other people, even when you don't mean to. Am I doing okay? Do I look okay? Is my life okay? But your ranking system is weirdly protected because you don't compare straight across. You compare your life to their edit. And you can spot the edit. The pose that hides the neck strain. The cut that skips the awkward pause. The outfit that screams status. The prop car, the perfect kitchen, the casual luxury that's there to trigger you, not help you. That's the payoff. MTV-era videos taught you to see the mask and the mask slip, sometimes in the same week. So now, when someone looks flawless online, you don't treat it like truth. You treat it like a performance with a budget. Now let's talk about the part people don't see. That skepticism didn't just help with ads. It changed how you treat authority. Most assume you're just hard to impress. Cold. Stubborn. Always side-eyeing the expert. But research tells a different story. You've got a higher bar for trust because you grew up watching adults be wrong and watching the world keep moving anyway. Think about it. You're a kid and the TV tells you something with a straight face. A PSA that tries to scare you into being good. News that sounds final, like it came down from the mountain. A teacher who ends the talk with, "Because I said so." And then, later on, you find out the story was missing pieces. Or the rule was just a guess. Or the facts changed. That can mess with you. It can turn into blanket distrust, where you assume everyone's out to get you. Or it can turn into a test, where you ask, "Okay, prove it." You leaned into the test, not loud, not rude, just steady. You don't reject authority. You reject unearned authority. Big difference. You can respect a coach who shows you the drill, a boss who works the floor, a doctor who explains the why. But you won't just hand over your brain to a title and a confident tone. Psychologists call this an internal locus of control. Simple version: you feel like your choices and judgments belong to you, not to the loudest person in the room. So when someone tries to take that from you, you feel it in your gut. That's why the modern guru script sounds so off. Don't listen to anyone else. Everyone is lying but me. Do it now, or you'll miss your chance. Your brain doesn't hear wisdom. It hears a control move, isolation, urgency, fake certainty. And this is where your 80s pattern recognition shows up. You've seen the same script in a new outfit, the same sales funnel with a new face. Someone builds trust fast, pushes you to commit, then makes it hard to step back. Different words, same structure. But here's the thing. You're also oddly calm with not knowing right away. You can sit in, "I'm not sure yet," without feeling dumb. That's executive function in real life. Planning, pausing, checking. It's the skill of holding your impulse at arm's length while you look for better info. Your childhood trained that. You didn't have instant answers. You had to wait, ask around, call someone, look it up later, compare two stories. That habit sticks. So when a headline tries to spike your mood, you don't sprint. You slow down. Research on misinformation shows people do better when they pause and verify, instead of going with the first emotional hit. That's basically your default mode. You cross-check. You look for a second or third source. You watch for wording tricks. You ask, what do they want me to do next? This wasn't cynicism. It was a protective cognitive style built from early media exposure, where skepticism, cross-check habits, and manipulation detection got wired in and stayed there. And once you see that as a tool, you start treating trust like something people earn in plain daylight, one proof at a time.